In your ears and on demand. Kincaid and Dallas.
New Country 101.5, Kincaid and Dallas. Thank you so much for listening. We do this thing every Friday, right around 8:10. It's called Show Wants to Know. We ask questions with basically targeting people in very specific careers and their very specific questions. I think I speak for all of us when I say if we had a divorce lawyer on, we could do 5 whole shows in a row.
There's no doubt I have so many questions.
That's why I am so happy somebody finally stepped up and agreed to answer all of our insane questions, and that is Jarrod Oxendine from Oxendine Law. Jarrod, good morning. How are you, sir?
We could get him to sponsor the weather window.
Have you heard
Good morning,
of
Kincaid and Dallas. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me on, and happy St. Patty's Day.
Walk us through it. For those of us who have never been through the proceedings and just find it fascinating, when someone initially calls your office, and I'm sure it's very emotional, I'm sure it's fueled by anger and sadness. Has it ever, and again, don't mention any clients, you're the lawyer, you know what to do, but I'm not telling you what to do, but have you ever heard the story like, well, it all began after St. Patrick's Day? How many divorces were based on something awful that happened on St. Patrick's Day?
Well, you know, it's funny. I actually do have one, and I've got a picture of a husband just laid out in the driveway. I mean, he is passed out.
Oh, no.
I mean, and he's still got his green hat on, believe it or not, with a rock right in the middle. So yeah, now, obviously, there was a big history of drinking, right? I mean, he's a career alcoholic, and so it wasn't just St. Patty's Day, but I think St. Patty's Day is the straw that broke the camel's back.
That was finally it.
Dang.
I'm sure you've heard it all. I'm sure you've heard the reason for divorce or filing for divorce: infidelity, excessive drinking. I'm sure you've heard gambling.
Sure, gambling, financial problems, not disclosing finances, kind of being too controlling. We've got a lot of people who are just controlled. They're under somebody else's thumb. They don't have access to the finances. They're not allowed to do anything. Their spouse is kind of watching every single penny. And then just lack of communication. Some people just kind of grow apart because they don't communicate and spend time together.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dallas?
Have you ever had anybody I got 2 questions.
Go ahead, Dallas, please.
Have you ever
By the way, Jarrod Dallas is engaged.
All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Hopefully she won't need your service.
And God knows I've been divorced a few times.
Hopefully you're not engaged to be divorced.
No, no. That's already been done. Okay, so question number 1. Have you ever had anybody come in your office and they are just dead set on getting a divorce, and by the time that you are done talking to them, they go, you know what, we changed our mind. We're just going to stay together.
Youth football is all about style and fun, and the NFL celebrates that through Play Football, an initiative aimed at creating positive experiences for players, coaches, and parents, with the goal of preserving and promoting the values of the game. On the football field, kids can continue to grow through teamwork and build trust as leaders. To learn more and to find a league near you, visit playfootball.com. The future of football is here. You in?
I have, and it's all because of money. So I have people that come into my office, and they really want a divorce. Frankly, they probably need a divorce. But they kind of look at everything I've gone over with them and the game plan and the strategy, and they understand that, hey, I'm going to have to give away half of this kitty, to my spouse.
Wow.
And it's kind of cheaper to keep her, cheaper to keep him type of situation.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you'll have people that will stay in a bad marriage for that reason.
Oh,
That's
my
sad.
God. That's so sad. Question number 2, let's talk about a prenup. If you have a prenuptial agreement when you get married, if you have kids, does that 86 the prenup? Does that, like if you didn't have it written in there, if you have children, does that make the prenup just completely invalid?
That's a great question. One of the only things that we cannot control in a prenuptial agreement is custody and parenting time and child support. So the fact that you have children after you sign the prenup makes no difference, because the prenup can't control those issues anyway. The only thing a prenup can control is division of financial accounts, assets, alimony, and attorney's fees.
Gotcha.
So we can't predetermine what custody or parenting time is going to be. So if you sign a prenup and then you have children later, it makes no difference.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
We're talking to Jarrod Oxendine from Oxendine Law right now on New Country 101.5. Has anyone ever put an intimacy clause into their prenup that said basically...
Is that a thing?
Should it be? Can it be? Is it too late?
Would you like to add a postnup?
Well, so I'll tell you about a postnup. So I haven't had anybody put that type of clause in a prenup. But we do have these things called postnuptial agreements, which basically is it's the same thing as a prenuptial agreement, but it's an agreement that you enter into after you're married that kind of resolves how you're going to divide everything up.
Wow.
In order to get your spouse to sign that after you've already tied the knot, right, because the incentive's not there. But what I did have happen one time is I had a client, her husband was just a serial adulterer. And he was the one that was making all the money and had all the assets. So she called him for like the 5th time, and she said, look, I'm only staying married to you if you sign this postnuptial agreement. And by the way, the postnuptial agreement says if you ever cheat on me again and we get divorced, I get everything.
Did he sign it?
What happened?
And did he cheat?
He signed it, and a year later, guess who was back in my arms?
Oh, my gosh. Good for her.
And she got it all, baby.
Good for her, yeah.
Oh, my
Jarrod,
gosh.
if we find ourselves in a situation where things aren't working out and we would just be happier, sans spouse, how do we reach out to you?
Sure. Give us a call, 770-497-8688. We're also on the web, www.oxlawfirm.com. We're all over social media, all over the radio, so give us a call, and your first consult is free. We have a team of lawyers. You can meet with me. You can meet with any of my qualified attorneys, and we'll be happy to help.
Thank you for answering our silly questions. We appreciate you, man. We've learned a lot this morning, Jarrod. You take care, okay? Happy St. Patty's Day.
Thanks so
There
much.
he goes, Jarrod Oxendine, New Country 101.5.
Kincaid and Dallas.
Podcast.